Hello everybody, welcome to Par Save Productions. We are here with you from the MVP Open at Maple Hill. Today we're going to be watching the double skins, which is a fun skins format that people try to qualify for. My name is Cale Leiviska and I'm here with Noah Meintsma.
Yo, what up guys?
And we are very pleased to watch this footage. This is a very fun event. We have 6 players today. Jared Stoll and Messerschmitt. Looks like they're partners. Ooh. And it looks like he touched, but these guys are playing to the short basket, which is you can see just over the water. And we got Cam here, and these guys qualified. They do a qualifier all day, and they play a 6-hole loop. And the top 6 scorers qualify for this double skins match. So these guys all shot the hot rounds and made it in.
Yeah, Cam's starting off with a really good shot there. Hole 1 is a really big rip to start your day off. Over the water, probably plays like 450, 500 feet to clear.
Yeah, it's definitely a pump, and it's a big distance. But with the elevation, as long as you get it up in the air, most of these guys should have no problem clearing.
Yeah, it looks like James going with a Thunderbird there.
Yeah, that's pin high. What did it look like? It looked like Cam got within the circle too.
Yeah, I would say close to circle 1, if not in circle 1.
So we got James, Conrad, and Josh Anthon as partners. That's a pretty formidable team.
Team in over there.
And it looks like Josh turned his over a little bit. He had the green light, though, going for the ace because
definitely.
His partner was nice and close.
Got young Nicholas Masters out of Florida. I think at this time he was actually touring with Chris, so that's kind of cool that they ended up being partners in this doubles.
Yeah, we got Nick Masters, Chris Dickerson for the final squad. That looks like a good toss. That's definitely got the distance. Oh, yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, we got Nick Masters, like Noah said, out of Florida. Chris Dickerson out of Tennessee. Both boys from kind of the southeast. And you think they were touring together for this Eastern swing?
For about 3 weeks to a month.
Nice.
Playing that really nice. Wide, yeah.
Yeah.
Took a lot of the distance away with the height.
And Josh shows us that he's one of the best putters in the world.
Yeah, just leaves the disc there, doesn't need it.
For this hole, like I said, we're playing to the short basket. When we start the tournament, the pro basket that we play to is what, another 350 feet? Maybe?
Yeah, another 300 for sure. It's definitely a really good true par 4. Cam smooths one in there.
Yeah, Cam really, I think the biggest strength of his game is his putting. He can put him in from pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, really good circle 2 putter.
And I'm sure you guys don't need me to tell you about Chris Dickerson's putt.
Yep, robot chicken. Looks the same every time.
The boy can put it in the basket. And it looks like an easy 2 for all these teams. So what these guys are playing for, they're playing for $100 a hole. And then there's a $20 CTP on every hole. So it looks like Nick and Chris stole it on the first one. But all those guys had very close drives. And yeah, it looks like we're pushing to $200 to hole number 2. This is personally one of my favorite holes on the course. You can see the basket right in front of you, but you got this rock wall on the right that's OB the whole way. And you really kind of have to push the rock wall if you want to get up there and park the hole. So it's a risk-reward shot.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite par 3s on the course. Really hard to avoid the out of bounds, but also makes you push into the tree line. And you got a little creek running through there to kind of block the rollers. There's a lot of different options you can throw out of, like fairway drivers, distance drivers, like I said, rollers, forehand I guess as well. It's going to be a really tricky shot with the OB on the right.
Ooh, he got a good kick. Those trees that he just brushed off of, for a right-handed, backhanded player, you know, the second most common mistake is to kind of hyzer off into those trees. It's a little bit safer play because you don't bring out of bounds into play, but that's strong shot.
That's a nice looking line right there.
Yeah, that little creek bed down there. If you can get anywhere over that, you're looking at, you know, a makeable putt. I have been seeing more and more people throw rollers on this hole and just kind of banking one off the creek and giving themselves a 40-footer or so, which is a solid play.
Yep, stays in bounds. Getting really flexy with the Thunderbird.
Yeah, looks like he turned that one a little much. He's out of bounds, which is, you can see how close that is to the basket up there. I have a feeling Dickerson's going to be throwing some kind of fairway driver here, most likely.
Maybe his beat up F1 that he throws for his straighter shots with a little bit of nose down, flat release.
Oh yeah, he got that nice and high. That's just pushing. Yeah, I wish I could throw past pin high with the fairway driver.
Right. Must be nice.
So let's see, who's CTP so far? Maybe
I think Josh with that
yeah, true.
nice distance driver shot. Ooh, Nick's got a really good angle on this though.
Yeah, it's got to get up.
Keep going. A little short, but not bad. Looks like they're going Chris's shot.
Yeah, I think they're probably just outside the circle here. Again, some very fine drives on the second hole as well.
Uncharacteristic from Nick. Usually really good, solid putter. Also known for his putting, I would say.
Yeah. Ooh, Chris is looking for the okay. I don't think they gave it to him.
He wants that stepper. Head shakes.
For those of you who have never been to Maple Hill, this is an absolute gem of the course. One of the best private courses in the world. Oh, wow. Just wide. That's alright, I think.
A little bit of nerves got to him, I think, there.
Yeah, I think Cam will be able to clean up his roller.
Yep. Nice.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, about Maple Hill, this is, for me personally, this is an event that I look forward to every year. I've probably played this event every year for the past 9 or 10 seasons. It's definitely like a staple to my summers, and I know it is for a lot of these pros in the world. How many times have you played out here, Noah?
I went. This year was my second time going. I had a really good time. I really enjoyed it. My first time going, I camped in the back of the property, and I had a really fun time hanging out with a bunch of locals, and also hanging out at Pyramids Disc Golf Course across the street. Really fun time. Marshall Street Disc Golf. Can't say enough good things about that store as well. Super fun to hang out and look at their X outs.
Oh yeah.
Could spend all day there.
Yeah, this is definitely a disc golf destination, and at Maple Hill, they have a beautiful pro shop as well. They have what's called the Sap House, which is kind of like a game room up top.
Yeah, all sorts of fun stuff.
So here we are, hole 3. This is a very tight technical hole. You have to, for a right-handed player, you almost have to put a little turn on it, but not too much. You have to throw something overstable enough to come back. And it looks like Jared and Cam are going to be in trouble on this hole.
Yeah, too early.
This hole is now worth $300 because the first couple holes push. So for me playing this hole, you know, it's
nice. Wow.
Yeah, that looks perfect.
It's such a demanding shot and calls for such a specific type of line.
Oh yeah.
It's really fun when you execute it like that. Really incredible.
It is. It's a hole that you can see off the tee and you want to get it every time, but I think it's definitely a bonus birdie. You know, it's not too very often.
Very easy to bogey and very hard to birdie.
Yep.
And a little kick for Josh.
Good practice.
You can see the shorter tee pad about 60 feet in front of this one, and that's actually where we used to play for up until a couple years ago. So Steve Dodge is definitely keeps making this course more and more difficult as the skill levels keep evolving. Let's see if Dickerson can get up there and push this one.
Ooh, if this hooks up now.
Oh yeah, that should putt.
Very nice shot.
Okay, yeah, they should have a jumper from down there.
Yeah, anything in circle 2 is really good on this hole. Circle 1 is just phenomenal.
This is the hole that a couple years ago, I remember the wind was ripping during the round, and Felberg got a pretty sweet skip ace on this one that made it on Sports Center.
Yeah, one of the first aces ever on Sports Center, if I can remember.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, Jared and Cam, I mean, being off the fairway on this one, especially that far away from the basket, you're kind of...
Yeah, you're kind of conceding to the other players here and making sure no one really gets the outright skin.
For me, if I was in that position, I probably would be just playing for 4 down there.
I think that's a really good try. It's a little low on his putt right now.
Yeah, this is big. And I've played a few skins matches, and it's a different kind of pressure than playing a tournament, you know. Nothing is guaranteed for you. You can play great and still not win skins. So to get on the board first and try to, well, to push this for Chris and Nick would be huge, because you don't want to give anyone anything in this game.
Right. Oof.
Oh, just short. So it looks like Josh.
Josh and James are going to clean up the first skins here on hole 3. Getting
Nice.
the CTP as well with that park job. James and that T-bird, that swirly Nibos, he really does good with those. He's got them beat into flippy to all the way over stable.
Yeah, that's big. And now we're coming up on hole 4, which is, I think it's the shortest hole on the course. One of my favorite holes, because I love throwing putter shots off the tee, but you got a very tight window up the gut, or some of these forehand players might take the wide kind of flex forehand line.
Yeah,
that you see Josh throwing there.
There's so many different types of lines on this hole. You can, I mean, anywhere from a forehand to a jump putt by James. I think usually he likes to throw that.
That's true. Oh yeah, here we go.
See if he lines it up.
The Conrad jumper.
Wow. Can't believe he even gets it to ride on a line, flips it up to flat, all the way over. Hits a little bit of some lumber, but...
And here's a different play. We see Cam going up the middle with the forehand.
Yeah, it's a really touchy line.
Let's see
Well,
that a lot.
well executed, though.
Very well done.
And a great sit, too.
Yeah, here you got about 45 feet behind this basket. You got the lakeshore. They do put a little wall up to kind of block it, but for me personally, it's easy to kind of flare skip and kind of push out into the lake. So
yeah.
This is a very touchy shot.
If you're in the line, you definitely have a chance to go in the water.
Yeah, I was actually last year at Maple Hill during the tournament. I was threw a perfect skip shot and actually aced this one.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
So I would have.
That was on video, right?
Yeah, it was on video, and I definitely would have gone straight OB if it wouldn't have hit the chain.
Yeah.
So.
I think there's a basket there.
Oh yeah,
oh,
there we go.
Chris just lacing this one.
Ooh, wow.
Getting a weird reaction. Getting chain high almost, but sits nicely.
So it looks like Chris and Cam both are close already, so green light for Masters.
Yeah, Nick's going for the bigger line here. I think it's easier to hit it up front, but gets a little tighter towards the hole.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like 3-4 years ago, you never really saw that line, and now I see forehanders taking it more and more.
Yeah, I threw that line all 3 rounds this year.
You get a couple birdies?
I think just one birdie.
Okay.
But no bogeys, which is good.
Ooh.
Good bid from
These
60
guys
feet with some obstacles in the way.
These guys really have nothing to lose here. Those guys other two teams are both pretty close, so.
Yeah, that's a really cool part about skins and doubles, especially. You can really be aggressive from anywhere.
Yep.
Ooh, both off the top.
Yeah, both got metal.
Good runs. Nick with the easy cleanup.
You can see the landscape we're in as you see the beautiful pond right there. You got old growth East Coast trees and a lot of elevation. I think this is one of the most beautiful courses I've ever played. All right, Jared and Cam with that CTP. So they're on the board now. $10 each.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. What do we got here? Hole 5.
Hole 5, yeah, this one is a really fun hole, par 3, with two really defined options. You can go over the water and risk it with a turnover or forehand hyzer, or you can go up the right side with a right-hand backhand hyzer, but you're going to find a lot more obstacles on the right side. Most people elect to go over the water, but definitely a scary risk-reward shot, but one you want to get here at Maple Hill, so it doesn't get much easier than this.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a 2 that you want to get, but man, the level of difficulty, even on this hole, being one of the easiest, is still
it's crazy.
supremely difficult. It just shows you how hard it is to score well on this course, because pretty much any hole can give you a bogey.
Yep, any hole can really give you a double bogey. I mean, just this hole being so simple, if you're not inbound, you have to throw a 200-foot approach from a drop zone. That is not easy. Any putt in circle 2 is not easy on this hole either. Very good chance you can go over the boards and go in the water.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, for me, I like to throw a turnover putter on this hole, so if I want to get to the basket, I really got to trust it out wide over the lake. And when I make the mistake, of going, too far to the right of the basket, and then you have a 40-foot death putt looking back at it.
Yep, the whole design is really good in that factor.
So Nick sawed it off a little bit, but as long as he stayed in bounds, it's still a putt.
Yep.
Looks like we got a few discs.
This will be a
really
close CTP call here. Chris with a tight flick and wind bounced.
Very nice.
I think everyone seems to be in bounds.
Oh yeah, if that's the furthest out, you guys are in good shape.
Yeah. Pretty routine for these guys.
Let's see. Oh yeah, so James and Josh got another CTP. They're adding to their total. And this is hole 6. I think that this stretch of hole 6 and 7 is the most difficult on the course. And it's not because, if you're throwing the disc straight down these fairways, you're going to do just fine. But if you hit early on this hole especially, you can find yourself in some tough positions. The OB wall comes into play on the right, and then the lake does come into play on the left. And you can see with a shot like that, I think these guys are playing from the short tee, is that right?
I think this one at the longs. That was just a really well executed forehand there by Josh. James is trying to get a little more greedy here with the backhand. Looks like a rock of some sorts. This one's a really tough hole though. Like Cale was saying, you could play it 10 times and you would have 10 completely different results every time. I mean, it's really hard to play this whole textbook every time the way you want to play it. Just so many different things can go wrong or right with the hole.
Yeah, and this is one that, at the top level it does get two'd. But when you do two it, it's a pretty huge separator because it's pretty easy to take a 4 or 5 on this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like that. I mean, that was a great looking shot by Chris, and it barely kicks a tree over the rock wall out of bounds now. Nick got a little bit more flex. That looks really nice.
There we go.
Skipping low to the basket. That's a beautiful shot. Very hard to keep that forehand low and direct on the straight line like that the whole time down the tunnel.
Looks like that last one was CTP probably.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say.
Get it.
Ooh,
Oh,
Cameron with a crazy jump putt.
Look at this, through the jungle. I've tried to putt through there before.
Wow, that's what he likes to do. Find a little hole and just put his disc through. Crazy.
Nice putt, Cam.
Yeah, that could end up being a really clutch push.
Yeah. Jared loves it.
Yeah, he's all about it. James now to answer here. We're about 50 feet probably still.
Yeah, looks like the wind is definitely a factor on these putts especially.
Yeah. Ooh, just off the weak side. Not a bad bid. Just enough wind to mess with them.
Yeah, Josh with his spin putt is one of the best wind putters in the world. I'm going to say he's got this one.
Yeah, he's so dialed with those KC Pros. Oh, wow. Good bid, though. I mean, missed him high.
I think
I haven't really seen them
that
hit the
Chris and
cage as a
Nick are
team.
I think Chris and Nick are pretty close. So,
Circle one here.
but this is the pressure you feel.
25 footers are not easy by any means for $300, but
There we go.
unless you're Chris Dickerson.
Yeah, with skins, it's a different kind of pressure because obviously you want to, win the skin and earn money, but when it's on you to push a hole, you feel the pressure because you need to come through for everyone else on the card.
Yeah, it's a really interesting game. Changes the aspect.
And here we are, hole 7. This is just like 6, another tight tunnel where if you hit a tree early, you can end up in some bad places.
Yeah, pretty much just bring out your straightest disc you can, even if it's a putter or mid-range, just to get you down that tunnel. If you can get to the basket, even better, but you can really take some big numbers on this hole if you get off early, because it's a lot of rough.
You can see it's 370 feet, which doesn't seem like a lot, but we are playing uphill with how tight this is. Yeah, like Noah said, I mean, if your most comfortable shot is throwing a putter straight, then do that. I would certainly take a 3 on this every time if you gave it to me.
Oh wow, that was nice. Got the flex underneath the low ceiling.
Yeah, there we go.
All the way down to the green. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's just inside the circle.
That looked like that same distance driver he threw on 2 again. That's impressive to keep that speed of a disc down that tunnel the whole way.
He's probably been working that thing in for years.
Yeah, looked like an old destroyer or boss, maybe boss.
It's like Jared yanked one over right, but every once in a while you can find a path through there. I think it's better to be right than left.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. Saveable on the right side, left is very jail.
Yeah.
Cam with a little bit of a slip, falling
get
Jared
off.
over to the right, but this is getting clean. Wow.
Yep, it pushed through a ways though.
Yeah, you can't ask for much more.
They'll
than
be
that.
putting. They're not going to win the CTP, but yeah, it looks like Josh put theirs just inside the circle. So one of these guys are going to have to get it pretty close if they want that money. Look at this. That looks good.
Yeah.
Nick's got smooth form.
Very smooth. I was gonna say that. Looked like a nice fairway driver release, maybe F5.
Yeah, I think that got to circle's edge. We'll have to see who's closer. Chris loves playing in the woods, so this kind of shot definitely suits his game.
Oh yeah, both Chris and Nick very smooth down the middle. Pretty similar shots.
Yeah. Yeah, those are both great.
Oh yeah, they snuck way up there for how right those drives were.
Yeah, let's see what Cam can do. He just hit a huge one on the last hole. He's got a green light
Yeah,
here.
probably feeling himself a little bit here. I think he's putting PA 3s.
Yep, I think so.
Really good, accurate, beaded putter.
Like I said, yeah, his jumper is definitely his strength, so
Oh wow.
give
A
it
good try, but
they're definitely pretty far out. Okay, so yeah, it looks like Josh and James got the CTP, but if Nick and Chris can hit a putt to put the pressure on them. You guys might be just outside the circle, you think?
yeah, probably about 35 feet here. Oof, a little right here. Let's see if Chris can clean this up. Ooh, no
All
problem.
day.
Just making Circle's edge look easy.
Yeah, it's a pressure putt.
Yeah, $400 on the line, no
The
problem.
other 3 guys want you to make it badly, and these 2 do not.
Yeah, they're definitely putting some pressure on though. James and Josh are not making it easy.
Ooh.
James though, back-to-back putts off the weak side.
Yep. Alright, I'm calling this one. You should
he's not
clean it up.
Not taking too much time on it.
Boom.
Got her to fall barely on the pro side.
There we go. So we got another push here.
Yeah, that's awesome to see. A bunch of birdies in these last 2 holes is really tough. hard gets.
Yeah, when you're playing these skins matches, it's fun when you start to get 2, 3, 4 pushes and you step up on the tee thinking about the 3, 4, $500, and definitely makes it a little more interesting. And this is a hole that I'd say is probably one of the easiest holes on the course, although you are throwing over water the whole time. It's in the range for a lot of the good pros, a lot of the top pros for their mid-range shots. So a lot of people choose to throw a forehand here as well. It's kind of whatever you're comfortable at, throwing a little 300-foot distance. I guess it's probably a little further than 300 feet, right?
Yeah, I would say like maybe 320, 330.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I was throwing my Nova on that hole all weekend at Maple Hill and got it every time.
Yeah, and it looks like James is throwing a putter as well.
Yeah, he's going with his JC AVR.
And this is a hole that gets aced pretty much every year, I feel like.
Yeah, it's been on Sports Center a few times now, I want to say.
I know I've witnessed a couple.
Very fun momentum shift, though, because definitely some hard holes coming up that you really want to get this one to going into those.
Yeah, especially after coming off those last couple super wooded shots, and right here it's just wide open in front of you. You just gotta carry about 310, 320 feet of water. They do put a wall behind the basket, but you don't really want to push that wall too hard because then you're going to have that 35-foot putt coming back at the water, which can be a little scary downhill.
Yes, definitely. Circle 2 putts are not fun on this hole. Basket is a little short as well on it, so it's really easy to skip off the top and go into the water.
I don't know if has anyone really parked it yet?
Not too many park jobs.
I think the CTP is still open here for Chris.
Definitely.
Let's see, I think he's probably throwing a 400 Series PA3. I can throw putters pretty hard as well.
Yeah, he's really good with his putters.
Looks like a good line if I can get down.
Smooth hyzer on it. Crushing
Oh
the
yeah.
putter.
It might be CTP this far.
Good little reaction off that.
There's a lot of little roots and trees that you can kind of hit, and hopefully it gives you the good bounce backwards.
Nick going, the only guy I think going forehand over the water. More confident with the flick, I guess.
Finish, you go up. It's on top of the hill.
All right, back door.
Okay. You kind of go up and then down. Yeah.
Okay, everyone's pretty close. Let's see who's got the CTP here. James cleans up easy.
That looks like James is probably closest anyway.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they're cleaning up here. They're at $400 total between the two of them now.
Let's see, we've had a few pushes in a row now, so
Yeah, this next hole is getting pretty juicy.
600 bucks.
Not bad.
Here we go, and we're playing this one from, what are we doing, a shorter tee or a shorter?
Looks like the shorter tee
basket.
Here.
We're playing the short tee, so these guys will be faced with a view of the basket, which we usually do not have from the long tee.
Yeah, this is such a difficult hole from the longs. From the shorts, it's still a very tricky line. The green is very tough to stick.
Ooh.
As James is a little wide on the green here, but
Yeah, this is kind of a technical shot because you're coming over this hill, but you got to keep the nose down. So it's kind of easy if you're going to try to put a turn on it for it to keep turning.
yeah, you really want to control your speed on this shot and make sure you don't drift too far past the basket or short into the water.
Where these guys are throwing from is where a pretty decent spot to end up is off the drive from the regular tee. So this was an approach shot we're faced with a lot on this hole.
Yeah, I want to say that maybe Ricky threw this in about 3 years ago when he went out of bounds off the tee shot and played, or his drive landed maybe by the tee pad and he threw in from there. And that was pretty exciting. Ooh, that's an early kick there.
Yeah, CTP is definitely still up for grabs here.
Ooh, there's that speed control we were talking about. Nick going a little bit long.
Yeah, and he's gonna be that's not an easy putt back there.
No, and some out of bounds comes into play, I think, as well. Chris looks like Ooh, it's coming in pretty hot too.
So he can
Short,
handle
though.
this. There you go.
Yeah, looks like that'll be CTP.
Yeah, James is probably just inside the circle, but he's putting out of bounds right
wow.
now.
Very nice. Kept his weight back too on the lie. That was impressive. They're kind of on a heater here. They've been playing really good. It's not like I would ever bet against that doubles team, but
Yeah, James was obviously, feeling it this week.
yeah.
It's not too much of a spoiler, but James would go on to win the MVP Open at Maple Hill this year, so he obviously plays this course very well.
Yes, very. Has his lines figured out.
So here we are. That's the front nine for you. We got James and Josh taking home the lion's share.